So there's this dog on the internet named Kai who was rescued from a puppy mill. And this dog was severely overweight, like double what she should be. And she could barely walk on her little legs. And after her rescue, Kai ended up with this family who was committed to making sure that they could get this dog's weight down. But it was even hard for her to get the weight up onto her little legs. So every day, the woman who adopted and rescued her picks up this dog and knows that the dog loves to be in the house, but picks up this dog, walks her to the end of the driveway, and makes the dog walk back into the house. Something had to change in order to protect the health of this dog. So here's my question for you. What do you do when it's time for a change in your life? So first things first, when it comes time to make a change in your life, the first thing you need to do is to name the change. You see, we can't change something if we don't know exactly what it is that we're trying to change. And so to figure out exactly what it is, sometimes we may say, well, I want to lose weight. But really what we want from losing weight is we want to feel good about ourselves. So there's another possibility is maybe to change our mindset about how great we look right now. So really to absolutely name what we want to change. In the Lutheran tradition, which we come from, oftentimes we start worship with this time where we do just that. It's a really fascinating thing. We call it confession and forgiveness. It's this time where we stop and we intentionally think of the ways that we are fallen short, the places where we screwed up, the places where we want to change in our lives, things we have done and things we have left undone. In the Bible, it's written this way. It says, "Since then you've been raised with Christ, set your things on above where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. And set your mind also on things above, not on earthly things. For you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who's in your life, appears, then you will also appear with him in your glory. So therefore, in your lives, put to death whatever belongs to your earthly nature. Sexual immortality, impurity, lust, evil desires, and greed, which is idolatry. You used to walk in these ways because you just didn't know. But also rid yourself of all these things: anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language from your lips. Don't lie to one another, since you've taken off your old self with all of its old practices." I think what Paul is telling us to do here is to name the change. And this is what I want to be clear about it. As we make any change in our lives, God doesn't need these things from you. God doesn't need these things for you and God to be right together. God has got you. You and God are already good through the work that Jesus Christ did. But your neighbor, your kids, your own mental health, it would be good if you maybe didn't do some of those things. Could you imagine a world in which evil desires and greed were tempered? I mean, that'd be good. Could you imagine your life if you didn't have any rage or malice? That is good for you. But between you and God are good because of what Jesus has done for you. So what is it that you might want to change? Would eliminating Netflix from your life make your life better? Well, maybe. How about quitting drinking or eating healthier? You bet that those things would make you feel better. What about fleeing from your pornography addiction? Would you feel less shame about yourself? Absolutely. Or what if it's on the positive side? What if you go after a goal that you've always wanted to do? Would that give you joy? Yeah, absolutely that would. Here's the thing. To make a change, it's not about luck. It's all about consistency. It's all about these little habits that add up. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. So that little dog, every day, the owner took Kai out just to the end of the driveway to walk back to the house over and over and over again until that little dog started losing some weight. And eventually, after time, the weight started to come off and she lost half of her body weight and she became this sweet little healthy dog. You can look her up on the internet. Friends, when Jesus talks about the kingdom of heaven, he's talking about how to make the world better for all people in this life and in the next. These little changes to improve your life by putting away some of those things that you just know aren't good for you and aren't good for the world. So if it's time for a change, I want you to know that I am cheering you on and God is going to walk with you through it. Just like that owner carrying you to the one side and helping you make that positive change in your life. Romans 8 puts it this way. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him and those who have been called according to his purpose. My friends, if it's time for a change, I want you to hear this. God has got you in it.